Hey everyone, Tristan back with another video, and in this video I am taking a look at and reviewing the Aune S6. What this is, it's a 32-bit USB DSD compatible DAC and headphone amplifier. And this is the unit here. A couple of things that are unique about it is that it's pretty low cost. It's made in China. Aune is a Chinese brand. By low cost, as of this video, it costs $569 US. It has a balanced output, and it can output up to 8 watts maximum, I believe. Also, it uses an AKM DAC, which is the same DAC company that Schiit Audio uses. So they're not necessarily quote-unquote off-the-shelf DACs. There are more DACs made for the industrial and medical applications, and they're using what Aune calls top-of-the-line DAC. So that's pretty unique as well. So this is the front panel here, and then let me show you the back panel as well. It has a full assemblage of ins and outs, so you can use it as a preamp. It has both, right here, RCA, single-ended outputs to use like with powered speakers or whatever. You also have balanced outputs here as well. And then you've got USB digital input, optical digital input, coaxial digital input, and AES digital input. Here is your master power switch on the back. You can also power it off using this, they call this, I think, a multi-dial, but you can basically hold this in and that'll remember your current settings and put the unit in standby mode. So you're not having to reach in the back always to use the master switch. One of the things I kind of liked is the labeling too on the back. If you look at it from the top, from the front, and you look down on it, you can kind of see that you've got the text upside down here, but it looks right side up when you're looking over the back of the unit. So if you're trying to plug things in here left and right, you can peer over and look and see what the label is, pretty easily. So that was kind of a unique touch. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. Just hold it on and then it powers it up. Now, as I mentioned, this is what they call like a multi-dial, and this not only does your volume, but it also controls many of the features. So as you can see right here, it's set to line out, which means the line out outputs are on the back and they're active. So it won't do the line out and the headphone out at the same time. So let me go ahead and change the camera angle here so we can get a better look at the front panel while I'm talking. And let me go ahead and dim the lights too a little bit so you can kind of see the front panel a little bit better. Hopefully that works. So as I mentioned, the front dial here is what they call, I think, a multi-dial. And so it not only controls the volume here, but as I showed you before, you can also put it in standby mode and turn it on with that dial. And then also this dial controls the outputs as well. So right now you can see it says line out. That means that the back output jacks are going to be activated, but not the headphone jacks. So you can't have both activated at the same time. There's an internal switch for that. So if you're using the line out, then the headphone will actually be off. If you're using the headphone out, then the line out will be off. So to switch that, you just double tap this, and then it switches to headphone. And so now you can use the headphones. One of the things about this that I'm not sure about, and I don't see it in any of the manufacturer documentation, is whether this is a fully balanced differential amplifier and DAC. I don't believe that it is. Someone may know and correct me if I'm wrong. The balanced output here on the headphone may just be for convenience, and internally it may just be single-ended. So that's something that I'm not sure about. And also, that being said, I did listen to it with the balance output with my Sony MDR Z1Rs as well as the single-ended, and I didn't hear a whole lot of difference. Mainly the difference, I think, is in the power, the difference that I heard. And Aune states that this unit is supposed to be optimized for what their optimal sound signature is. And in listening to this, I have to say, for the price, it sounds really good. To me, it sounds better than the Oppo HA1 desktop, headphone amplifier and DAC. They have optimized this DAC for a more smooth sound and a sound signature that I really like. It doesn't sound overly bright. It has more of a smooth sound signature. It's also pretty resolving as well. Now, I'm pretty lucky in that I can compare everything that I listen to through my reference system, which is a Chord Hugo TT. And certainly this DAC and headphone amplifier does not compare to the Hugo TT really, which is an over $4,000 unit. But I have to say, for the price of $569, this Aune unit is really, really nice and sounds really quite good for the price. So that's pretty amazing in terms of the price point there. It does not have a remote control, at least the review unit that I received doesn't. The design of this is really nice, as you can see. The build quality on it is, I think probably better than what you would expect, or about what you would expect for something that's $569. For something that's under $600, the chassis is all metal and everything like that. The front panel here is also metal. It doesn't feel plasticky or anything like that. The only thing that feels kind of plasticky is this switch here. This, as you can hear, it's a little bit fiddly. It actually clicks. So they actually have little click stops for the volume. I don't mind the clickiness, but this feels just a little bit loose and just, a little bit cheapy, although it is metal. It's not really plastic, it just feels plasticky when you turn it. So this is the kind of switch where I think over the years, over time, it could wear out and stop working, because I've had tuners before in my home audio system, in my home theater system, that had this same kind of feel that did stop working after a while. So the multi-switch here, multi-volume control here, doesn't necessarily really evoke a sense of confidence there. But again, for $569, it's hard to go wrong with this. And the sound of it, to me, is really good for the price, and it even, to me, sounds better than the Oppo HA1 desktop headphone amplifier and DAC. It's got a really nice sound signature that's not overly bright or anything like that, yet it tends to resolve pretty well. But certainly this Aune DAC doesn't resolve as accurately as something more expensive, as I mentioned before, like my Hugo TT. There's no comparison between this DAC and that one in terms of the accuracy. The main difference is on this one, when I really pay attention to the highs, the highs tend to sound a little bit more smeared and more together and not as separated and not as discreet and stuff like that. But again, for the price of under $600, I think this one will be hard to beat. So again, this is a pretty cheap headphone amplifier and DAC made by Aune, which is a Chinese company. It's the Aune S6. And I'm not sure if they're quite on Amazon yet, but I'll try to post links in the description field for where you can get more information and specs on this, and where you can buy it as well. The Aune S6 is really a pretty nice desktop DAC headphone amplifier and preamp for the price of under $600. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.